What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. If you saw the title, you know what's going on, so we're just going to hop right into it. We're going to be predicting the 2025 Indianapolis Colts record. And starting off in week 1, they'll be playing against the Miami Dolphins at home. And I really don't think the Colts are going to be that good this year. And I think they're probably going to lose this game just because the Dolphins have elite offensive weapons. And the Colts, I just don't think they'll be able to keep up. I mean, I don't trust Daniel Jones, who is projected to be the starting quarterback. So I'm going to say they lose this game and drop to 0-1. All right, heading into week 2, they will be at home again playing against the Denver Broncos. And this is honestly similar to the Dolphins. I just feel like, I trust Bo Nix more than Daniel Jones. And I promise I'm not being biased, but yeah, I mean, he's proven himself that he can be a starter in this league. And also, I trust Sean Payton more than Shane Steichen. And I really think Daniel Jones is going to struggle with the Broncos defense. So I just don't see a scenario where the Colts win this game. So I'm going to say they lose this and drop to 0-2. All right, heading into week 3, it's been a rough start for the Colts, but they have a winnable game here against the Tennessee Titans. It's on the road, but it's a rookie quarterback making, I would assume, his 3rd career start, because I'm pretty sure he's going to start the whole season. And I'm going to say the Colts win this game. I think their roster is fine. It's just the quarterbacks I have a problem with. But I think, going up against a rookie quarterback will favor the Colts in this situation, and they will come out winners and improve to 1-2. All right, heading into week 4, the Colts will be on the road again playing against the Los Angeles Rams. And I'm not going to lie, this is another game. Like, the Rams are Super Bowl contenders, and the Colts are nowhere near Super Bowl contenders. So I think they're going to lose this game too and drop down to 1-3. All right, heading into week 5, this will be their first game in October. The Colts will be at home playing against the Las Vegas Raiders. And I think this will be a good game. I think both of these teams are in a rebuilding mode. So this will be I'd say maybe kind of a tank bowl. Because whoever wins really loses because they get a worse draft pick. But, I could see this game being competitive. And I will give the Colts a win here. They're at home. The Raiders, they're still kind of figuring their shit out. So I'm going to say that they sneak away with a win here and improve to 2-3. All right, heading into week 6, they'll be at home again playing against the Arizona Cardinals. And this is another game that I feel like could go either way. And I think the Cardinals have some of their own issues as well because Kyler Murray has a lot of trouble playing consistently. So we'll see how he does in this game. But I'm going to say the Colts also win this week just because they're at home and the Cardinals have uncertainty. So I'm going to go with the home team here and say the Colts win this game and improve to 3-3. All right, heading into week 7, the Colts will be playing against the Los Angeles Chargers, and they'll be on the road. Coming off of 2 straight wins, perhaps this could be one that the Colts steal away from the Chargers, but I don't see it because the Chargers have an elite quarterback, Justin Herbert. I mean, people have opinions about him, but I think he's a really good quarterback. And I think the Chargers have a pretty good offense as well. And the Colts defense last year was pretty shit. They did get better, but I don't think they're going to be that much better. So I'm going to say they lose this game and drop down to 3-4. All right, heading into week 8, the Colts will be playing their second game against the Tennessee Titans this year. This time it'll be at home. And, so Colts and Titans, they usually play each other pretty close. And I did say the Colts were going to win the first game against the Titans, but this game I think it'll be a different story because I think Cam Ward, he's a rookie, but I do think he's going to start to I don't want to say figure out the league, but start to hold his own a little bit at this time of the year. So I'm going to say that the Titans actually beat the Colts here, and the Colts lose this game and drop down to 3-5. All right, heading into week 9, the Colts will be on the road taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Steelers, they've got some issues on offense, or at least they've had issues on offense in the past. They brought in Aaron Rodgers, and they're having problems with him because, it's Aaron Rodgers. But one thing about the Steelers that's never a problem is their defense. And I think the Colts are going to struggle against the Steelers' defense just because they don't really have a good quarterback, or they have a good running back, but that's about it when it comes to their offense. Their receivers are okay, but that's just not going to cut it in the NFL. If you don't have a good quarterback, you're not going to be good. So I think the Colts are going to lose this game and drop down to 3-6. All right, and for week 10, the Colts will be in Berlin taking on the Atlanta Falcons. It says they're the home team, but it really doesn't matter because, they're both away from the country. And this is a game where, I don't know, this could go either way because, you're flying all the way across the country, so both teams are kind of in an uncertain situation here. I think there's going to be a lot of rushing in this game because the Colts have Jonathan Taylor, and the Falcons have Bijan Robinson. And also, I've shit on Daniel Jones a lot this video, but he is mobile, so that's one thing that could help out the Colts. And I'm actually going to give the Colts a win here. They're on a 3-game losing streak, and I think they're going to snap it with a win here and improve their record to 4-6. All right, so week 11 is their bye week. They're sitting at 4-6. And, if they get some wins here, they could make a playoff push, but we'll have to see. All right, heading into week 12, they're going to have a really tough matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning defending AFC champions. And they're coming off their bye week, so that helps them out. And also, the Chiefs tend to not play that good in any of their games, but they just keep getting lucky. And this might shock some people, but I actually think the Colts are going to win. And a reason for that is because somehow the Colts are one of those few teams that can beat the Chiefs and genuinely give the Chiefs some problems. So I'm going to say they do that and shock everybody, win this game, and improve their record to 5-6. All right, after that shocking Chiefs victory, they will be heading to week 13 to play the Houston Texans at Lucas Oil Stadium. And this is a game, the Colts have won 2 in a row at this point, and I feel like, in theory, they might win this game, but at the same time, the Texans are also a very good team, and I don't think they're going to let a game like this slip away from them, especially this late in the season. So I'm going to say the Colts lose this game and drop down to 5-7. All right, heading into week 14, they will be heading to Jacksonville to take on the Jags for their first matchup this year. And if you're a Colts fan, you're probably hating this matchup because the Colts haven't won in Jacksonville since, I believe, 2014. And judging by how the Colts have been so far in my predictions and how I think they're going to be, I have them losing this game. I really don't think they're going to break the streak this year. So I'm going to say they lose this game and drop down to 5-8. All right, heading into week 15, they will be playing against the Seattle Seahawks on the road again. And I actually just talked about this in my last video because that last video, which came out a few hours ago, was on the Seahawks. And you already know what I'm going to say if you watch that video, but, I really don't trust the Colts in this situation. So I think they're going to lose this game too and drop down to 5-9. All right, heading into week 16, the Colts will be at home and they'll be playing against the 49ers. And, if you watch this video so far, you probably already know what I'm going to say, just because, the 49ers, although their roster got worse, I still trust them a lot more than the Colts. And also, I trust Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy more than Daniel Jones or Shane Steichen. So it's like, what scenario do the Colts win this game in? Unless there's some kind of freak injury on the 49ers or something, I really don't see any way they win this game. So I think they're going to lose this game and drop down to 5-10. All right, and for Week 17, the Colts will be playing their second matchup against the Jaguars. This time it'll be at home, so perhaps that'll give them an edge. And I think perhaps not, because like I said, I hate beating a dead horse here, but it's like you're not going to win without a quarterback, and the Colts really don't have one that I trust. And it's like, also, I think the Jags will be better than they were last year, so I feel like they're going to be trying to compete for a playoff spot in this situation. So I'm going to say the Colts lose this game too and drop down to 5-11. All right, and ending out their season, they will be playing against the Houston Texans for the second time on the road. And yeah, if you kind of know what I'm going to say, just because I've kind of been saying it the whole video. There's no quarterback means no winning. And no winning means you're not going to win this game. And Texans also are a good team. Probably trying to win that division in this week if, the Jags or the Titans are a more competitive team. But yeah, Colts, I think they're going to lose this game and close out their season with a 5-12 record. And that's going to be it for the prediction part. And then, 5-12. Obviously not the season that Colts fans want, but the reality is I don't trust their quarterback room. Whether it's Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson, it's just like none of those guys are going to move the needle, because Daniel Jones just isn't good and Anthony Richardson is just lazy. So I don't really imagine any of those guys are going to have some kind of career year and propel the Colts to a playoff berth or anything like that. So, disappointing season, but the good news for Colts fans is you'll get a good draft pick, I guess, if there's any silver lining to this negative record. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will have a Jacksonville Jaguars prediction video out probably by tomorrow. So if you want to watch that, stay tuned for that, and I'll see y'all later.